scrappy friends, thanks for joining me today. Helen here and welcome back to my channel. So today I have a inspiration video for you. So today's inspiration that I've saved from Instagram is a Julie Taylor layout that she popped up a couple of days ago for the CSI design team. Just loved it. At first glance it's like a half and half, but it's not. So I just really like the composition of it, and I thought for my dad's songbook it would really work for a single photo page that I'm doing. The song in my dad's songbook is Battle Hymn of the Republic, and it's my sister Alison that asked for this song on the playlist for his funeral. So it's a photo of my sister with our parents for this song. So if you haven't watched the video posted Thursday just gone, this week's the 20th anniversary of losing my dad, and over the years I've worked on a songbook, and it's the songs that he always sung at family gatherings, and I haven't worked on it for quite a few years, so I just wanted to do that with it being kind of like a big number anniversary. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. There's some photos in it I need to cover up because of permissions to share in people's image, but I may give you a flick through of where I'm up to, and you can see how my style has changed over the years, because I started this 20 years ago. So that's it. So before we get to that, if you're not already a subscriber, please think about hitting that subscribe button. If you enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up, give it a like, and let me know in the comments what you've enjoyed. If you're not sure what to say, just pop an emoji for the sake of engagement. This is a sped up video, so my last video I did real time, this one's going to be a sped up one. So that all out of the way, let's get scrapping.
So I think I forgot to mention that this is Traci Reed, and it is Let's Wander that I am using. So I printed the words out first of all, and I made it too big. I wasn't going to be able to pick the photo on or the embellishing. So I've done it again smaller. So what I've done is in Photoshop, I've added the words as text, and then I have added a square using the shape tool and changed the opacity on that to about 50%, which has given me that look of it, the words being on a sheet of vellum, and that's all been done over the pattern paper, and then I printed that off. So the words and the white block is all printed directly onto the vellum. So this, change of lighting and environment there. I'm now at the crop. So I finished this off at a crop. I just put it all in the wallet with the rest of my Traci Reed pieces and popped to the crop. So you would have seen as well that I was on the originally cutting a strip from that pattern paper that has the suns on. Couldn't see enough of the yellow, and I didn't think it quite fitted because the photos are actually inside at a party. I think it was my auntie's 30th party, so we're talking about 29 years ago. And so that was, so I've ended up cutting a little strip off the other yellow pattern paper that I'd already printed, which now means that I've got this ripped edge on one of the pieces. So I'm going to go through all the other pieces and rip the edge off there. When I did that bluey piece, the blue lilac-y piece, I forgot I was recording and I ripped it right in front of me. So with the sticking it down, I start with this end piece. It would have been easier to start at the red end, but the reason I started over here is because this piece was going to be the full length of the A4 sheet. So for me to, end up in the right position at the end, in the right place at the end, I needed to start at this end because this is the only one that's using the full length of the A4. I've then used my T-square to try and get everything on the same angle, and I kind of put the adhesive a little bit too far over on that one. So just now ripping off, use my ruler as a tearing guide, so you still get the ripped edge, but it's still kind of straight. So just laying that one on. This looks very different in the end to Julie's, because Julie's got that amazing explosion of embellishments, and in terms of, you know, embellishments that went with this, I haven't picked the greatest of collections, but I wanted to use these papers, so I just kind of went with it. And now just pop in the last couple of bits on. I put the red on before the yellow because I wanted to make sure that I got the right kind of gap there for the yellow. And also as well, the yellow being so narrow, it was unlikely I would have been able to get the glue in the right place for the final red bit still fit under. So I'm using my trimmer just to trim off the oval hanging pieces. You'll see I'm back on the Tim Holtz trimmer. That's because I'm at the Warrington crop organised by Sarah from Hey Little Magpie, and she brings the shop with her, and I had pre-ordered for collection from the crop some new blades for the Tim Holtz trimmer. So yeah, that's why that's back in use. I'm just cleaning out the guide there. So back to the photo on a scrap of that yellow as well. Decided instead of my embellishment explosion, I am going to use a piece of the floral paper that I cut, that I printed for this. I am really happy with the new paper that I found. It is, let's have a look, it's 200 GSM. And it's from Mondi. It's colour copy paper, works in laserjet and inkjet. And yeah, it's just their original. They do a premium one as well, so I expect it'll be even more amazing if I do use the premium. So I'm going through the embellishments now. I've already pulled out that flower cluster, which I've decided is going in that bottom right corner, and that brings, you know, the flowers from that floral paper across as well. So I think that balances it quite well. It said there's a lot. This is Wander and Wonder, so it's a lot of travel themed embellishments. So I'm just trying to find something that isn't very travel themed to add. I do use one of the tabs, which you'll see in a moment. It says snapshots. It's on grey, so I do use that, and I do come back into every now and then for something else. So that's snapshots going under there. And then I'm just going through again. I was thinking of putting something with the date on, and I changed that from being above the photo. But I do want a journaling spot to talk about Ali asking for Battle Hymn of the Republic. I was having a chat with Catherine about where to put my title. I'm sat next to Inky Fingered Cat at the crop, and then, you know, it's like talking about what the title is, quite a big title, Battle Hymn of the Republic. And then I thought, you know what, you don't need the name of the song, because the name of the song is going to be in the journaling. So I'm just going to leave it without a big title. I'm looking at it then thinking it's not quite done. I'm not sure what to add. And Catherine suggests doing something that brings that pinky red, orangey red colour over, because I'm saying I want something with that snapshots tab, because it just fades into the background with it being grey. And Catherine suggests something with this orange tab, ready orange tab. And yeah, so I layer that under the snapshots, and I'm much happier with that. So there we go. Thanks so much for watching. The flick through of the album is after these close-ups. Thanks. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, so I'm going to give you a flick through of the album. Now, I'm not putting the lights on because everything's in the sleeves, so hopefully this is showing up okay. I still need to do a cover page, which is going to have the list of contents for the songs and Bill Warbson's songbook. So first page, we've got, I mean, this is, gosh, well, Caris, so my brother's children, Megan and Caris, 2 more children after this, so this is quite a way ago. Their youngest has just turned 22, so Caris is 26, 27 now, so you see how long ago this was. And Caris was only a few days old there, because she was born the 19th of December, and this was taken Christmas Day. Not Christmas Day, because it was taken New Year just for Chris and Andy, and the girls went back down to Cornwall. So mum and dad, my siblings, and all the grandchildren, as was at the time, down to Carris. I still need to do a bit of journaling on this, and the song is You'll Never Walk Alone from the musical Carousel. So dad loved musicals. There's a picture later on in the album of him in a musical. So yeah, You'll Never Walk Alone from Carousel. The next one is This Is My Dad and 7 of his siblings. One of his siblings died in the 1960s, but this is taken in probably in the 80s. I was a very young teenager at the time. There's a photo as well of me and my cousins that were there. This was at Auntie Jean and Uncle Len's house, and I think it was Auntie Trudy and Uncle Alf were down, and they were going home the next day. So we had a big family. They live in Newcastle, and we're having a big family get together. My aunties, so Auntie Jean, Auntie Joan, always ask for Kathleen. So it's the words to I'll Take You Home Again, Kathleen, which is the song, and that's just a bit of journaling about it. And then I've just, with this, lots of word strips that I have printed. I had, they would have been, yeah, I had a wide format printer at the time, I think, or I've put it on it, like, yeah, because these are 12-inch long, or I've done it where I've cut the card to the width of A4 and put it through as 12 inches. So it's just lots of quotes about family. But again, you know, this is something I did about 19-20 years ago, so you can see how different from my style it is. The next one is Spanish Eyes, so Engelbert Humperdinck, Blue Spanish Eyes. So I've got the words to it here. I've got some epoxy dots which are going yellow, and this is my sister Christine. So this is Christine, who I spend once a week with the grandsons. So her as a toddler, and it's just saying about how Blue Spanish Eyes is the song Christine always asked for, and dad sung it at a wedding. And this is my dad in Menorca in Spain on holiday with Christine about 12 months before he passed away. So here we go. It's my dad in the chorus of South Pacific. Nothing Like a Dame was the song he loved from South Pacific. So this actually, it pulls out, it's got the words in it. Lots of ribbon. I can't remember where this paper's from. Pictures of my dad. My dad was in the Merchant Navy. He was an engineer in the Merchant Navy, worked in the engine room. So pictures of him on the ship. And then that's my dad there. And he was in the chorus of an amateur dramatic production of South Pacific. And this is the photo that was on my nana's mantelpiece. And my dad's youngest sister, Linda, was my mum's best friend. And my mum had gone home from school with Auntie Lynn and saw this picture, and it's this picture where she fell in love with my dad. Next on the old rugged cross, this is a photo from my wedding. Dad's singing there. I'm not quite sure what song he's singing. I can't remember. And this is one Christmas. We were doing the Christmas present opening, all of us together with the grandchildren that was there at the time. And he went outside for 5 minutes peace, and I followed him out on my camera, and then everybody else followed me out. And he's still journaling on that one too. I can't remember where these papers are from. So then we've got definitely die cuts with a view, isn't it? So this is my mum and dad. That would be I think that was in my Uncle Joe's back garden when he lived in Chemist Bay. He's singing there. And this is on the beach. I think that's on Sandy Bay in Chemist Bay as well. So this is I Left My Heart in San Francisco, Tony Bennett standard, which was always what I asked my dad to sing, but there was a really lovely romantic story about it. So when it came out my dad has said before, he was in the Merchant Navy. He did lots of trips to America. He did like Indian Ocean and America when he was in the Merchant Navy, and he come back from a trip to America and sang a song he'd heard on the radio in America. It wasn't released here yet, and mum loved it, and it was I Left My Heart in San Francisco by Tony Bennett, and promised to buy mum the album. Never did it. Never got the album. But many years later, I think I was a teenager, he took her on a night out, and they went to Manchester, and they're walking through Manchester towards the theatre, and Mum asked him what they were going to see, and Dad said it's a surprise. And then when they got closer to the theatre, Mum saw the Tony Bennett posters and couldn't believe her luck. So I thought it was even better than the promise of the record. So yeah, he took her to see Tony Bennett. Next is My Way. So this is, we used to holiday in Chemist Bay when I was little. As I said before, my uncle lived there, and we quite often just went back for, you know, a day trip, or Dad, if he had a delivery in Bangor when he was a courier after he retired from Merchant Navy, he went to British Gas. So after he retired from British Gas, he used to do a courier job, delivering electronics, and he quite often had delivery at Bangor University, which was just over the Menai Strait. So he used to go for fish and chips for his lunch at Chemist Bay. But yeah, this was a photo of him at Chemist Bay that we took when we did one of our visits there quite late on. And yeah, My Way, the Frank Sinatra song, so that's My Way. Next, we've got We'll Meet Again. So this is Mum and Dad in Menorca. Dad proving he can still get his arms all the way around Mum. So yeah, We'll Meet Again for this one. And then we've got Last Waltz. So family parties, you know, Dad would always get up to dance with Mum if it was a song he could do a waltz to. So there's a couple of pictures of them dancing. That's at a friend's wedding, so that's at Sue Callan's wedding, that one. So Sue Callan's the should have been sister, we call her. She grew up across the road from us, and then just being all lovey when he didn't shave quite often when he got older than my dad, because it hurt his face with the methotrexate because of his arthritis, so it irritated his face, so he grew his beard a lot more often when he got older. And this, yeah, Last Waltz. So, and then the next one is Danny Boy, with Mum and Dad in Liso di Jesolo, 1991 in Italy, and they took me and Will. And again, this is another one I always asked Dad to sing, but when we were in Italy on the last night, there was a cafe. I'm sure I've told this story before. There was a cafe down the road from our hotel, and there was a singer, and Dad got up and sung with him for a bit, and there was our coach trip and an Irish coach trip in, and they were asking him to sing Danny Boy. The keyboard player didn't know it, so Dad just sung it without any accompaniment, and everybody walking past in the street stopped to listen to him, and the police ended up shutting down the music because it actually stopped the traffic. So I just love that story. So yeah, it's me and my younger brother with my dad and Mum and Dad in Italy for Danny Boy. And then we've got the Al Jolson Sonny Boy. So not a very good picture of my brother, it's quite an awful picture of my brother, but it's the only picture I've got of him with my dad and Will, so the two sons. So yeah, Sonny Boy. Again, I think this might be Die Cuts with a View again. And that's Will's wedding. He has that up in his house. He carries that photo in his wallet. It's such a lovely pic. And yeah, the words to Sonny Boy. And then we've got the next Al Johnson song, which is Mammy. And it's just, everything's lovely when you start to roam. So I thought that like really went with this photo of my dad in Thailand when he was in the Merchant Navy. So that's where I was up to. And then I've got today's layout that you've just seen me do. Battle Hymn of the Republic going there. As you can see, style changed drastically. We've got from my first couple of layouts 19-20 years ago. This one would have been about, I don't know, about 15 years ago. It's been a long time since I've worked in this album. And then I've got slightly different. This is some old Stampin' Up stuff. So you're looking probably about 10 years ago for this, maybe longer for this one. But that's still like quite a different style to there. And then you've got the style of what I've done today as well. So yeah, thanks so much for sticking around to watch that. And yeah, I might have some more of that for you next year. Thanks for watching.